Recruiter Erin Blummel is with us today. Erin introduced us to Melissa, and I'm going to get her last name right, Ouellette, nurse that's working for us out in Washington State right now. Erin, why don't you tell us a little bit about her and where you met and all that?
Absolutely, yeah. So Melissa was a referral from a good friend that is a traveler that I met while she was out here in Denver. And Melissa wasn't looking to travel until like a year out when we first met and started talking. And she was just trying to get her ducks in a row, doing her due diligence on research and making sure, she had all the information to make the right decision and to know where she was going to be going and have a plan set out. And so we stayed in touch for that year pretty consistently. And she went out to TravCon and actually sat down with you and I think had some coffee when I wasn't out there that year, and has been with us ever since. She started traveling for us in Vermont about, maybe a year and a half ago. I can't even remember when she started, but she's a fantastic nurse, ER, does a little PDER, and I just love our relationship and how we can communicate very easily. And she understands the industry so well and did so before she even started traveling. So I really enjoy having Melissa on our team, and it's been enjoyable.
That's one of the things you'll see in the interview is, and you clued me in on this a little bit and we talk about it, is she is very detail oriented.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
But I think that's good. I think that's good that she started where she did, because she's been a nurse for almost 13 years.
Yeah,
now.
almost 13 years, yeah.
But then didn't start traveling until probably year 10 for her, 10, 11, right? And
yeah, about 11, I believe, is when she started. So it's been, a year and a half. And she's had options to extend everywhere she has, and I think has taken advantage of that in all 3 locations that she's been. So,
but I think that's just a good lesson for not even even experienced travelers, but especially the newer ones. Like, get your ducks in a row, right? Figure that out first.
Understand how the industry works, and it changes constantly, as we all know that have been in it for a while, but just more information, knowledge is power. So I think that that's super important.
Absolutely. And you'll see that come through in the interview too. Like, she really, she understands what she wants to do, where she wants to go, what she wants to do there. And
exactly. And even if somebody doesn't know, but as long as they can understand what's in store based off the decisions that they make, that's key.
That's perfect. Yeah. So Erin, thank you so much for bringing her to us. It's a great interview. I hope you enjoy it.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
All right. Thanks. Melissa, welcome to the Atlas Life. All right, welcome to another edition of the Atlas Life. I am pleased to have Melissa Ouellette. Is that right? Yes, man, I was close. So Ouellette. There we go. Ouellette. So with us today, Melissa, your recruiter is Erin Blummel. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Tell me now. You and I have met before. We met a couple years ago at TravCon.
That's true.
You didn't meet Erin then. So how'd you connect with Erin?
Well, about a year before I decided I was going to travel, I reached out to an old coworker who was traveling and just kind of like pick her brain, start asking her questions and stuff. And in her travels, she had actually met Erin at like a meet and greet in Denver. Oh. So she just kind of was like, hey, talk to my friend Erin. She's great. Even if you don't work with her, she'll answer all your questions. Like, I love her, because they weren't working together. They just happened to meet up and got to be good friends. So I've been talking to Erin. I've only been traveling a little over a year, but I started talking to Erin almost a year ahead of that.
Wow. So that was one of the things when I talked to Erin here just not too long ago, that, about you and questions and stuff like that. She said you are by far one of the most thorough nurses that she has ever worked with.
A little OCD, maybe. I probably drive Erin nuts, I'm sure.
But yeah, that's what she's for, though, right? I mean, that's how she's there.
It's a big change. You pick up your entire life and move. You want to make sure you're prepared. So Yep.
Absolutely true. Yeah. She said, like, you know where you want to go, where you don't want to go. Like you have lists and it.
I have lists that I do. You can even ask other friends who are getting into travel. They've seen the list.
But that's important though. Like you keyed on it right there, especially for new travelers. This isn't something that you just want to blindly jump into.
No, it's huge lifestyle change, huge everything. I mean, you pretty much pick up everything and leave everything you've ever known and go out into the unknown. So
yeah. So I guess where did you start? You've been a nurse for the better part of 12 years now. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm almost 13. Yeah.
So where did it all start for you?
Well, I got into nursing initially. I actually went to school for biology. I was going to do physical therapy. I blew my knee out a few too many times and decided that's not what I wanted to do in life. So it was funny. My dad kind of was like, well, if you go back to school now, on me. If not, figure it out. So I was working at our pediatric hospital at home at that time. So I kind of was already in, and I was like, you know what, I'll go to nursing school, sure. So I did that, and then I got into our level 1 trauma ER at home. They have like an internship program. Mm-hmm. It's like a 6-month intensive program, and that's where it is. So did 12 years there, kind of got to the point where I needed a lifestyle change. I wasn't happy. The job had gotten to the point where I was ready to quit nursing. So, I had decided I was finishing up my master's degree and decided, you know what, let's look into travel.
And there you go.
How I got into it.
And that's how you made it to here. So you're an ER nurse. You have some peds ER experience too. Is that right?
That's true. My last assignment, I did 7 months in a straight pediatric ER. So.
But otherwise then adults.
Yeah, I mean, I was on our pediatric team at my home hospital where I did most of my career. I was on the pediatric resource team, so we were a resource, or if you were the peds nurse that night, you would go to the traumas, the codes, the really sick kids, and assist the other nurses. But for the most part, almost all adults up until that assignment in Reno.
Yeah. Well, and is it like, and I guess, I mean, if you're assisting or whatever, it isn't all kids all the time. I know like peds nurses that I've known do not want to take care of adults at all, right? They're kids and that's kids only and vice versa.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a preference. I can say that after 7 months in all kids, I was ready to go back to adults. But at the same time, I have no trouble taking care of kids. And down the road, I do see me doing a straight PCR again. But I was kind of happy to go back to adults and like more acute things and kind of more disease processes and everything, not just fevers and flu. And
yeah,
because that's about a lot of what you see in the PCR.
Yeah, that makes sense. So where was your first contract when you decided to go?
I went to the University of Vermont first.
Oh, okay.
I pretty much told Aaron I wanted to would be in first contract. I wanted to stay within a 8 to 10 hour drive just so I could come home on a long weekend just in case. And I wanted to ski. And that was my thing. So I was pretty much New England. And first shot, University of Vermont, came up, submitted, had the job within, I want to say it was New Year's weekend. So it was like, interviewed like the Friday before New Year's, had the job offer first thing January 2nd.
Awesome. So, awesome. Yeah. Fantastic. And then, so now you're not in New England anymore.
No, I'm out in Yakima Valley, Washington now. Like basically the Napa Valley of Washington.
Yeah. How do you like it? Everyone I've talked to that's been out there loves it.
I don't know yet. I've been here a month.
Okay.
The weather hasn't been great. Nothing's really bloomed yet, so not quite sure. I live on a little farm in the middle of nowhere, so I have to drive everywhere. But I'm hoping it's going to get pretty. I'm hoping that, the weather's getting nicer, start hitting the wineries, do some hiking. I went skiing once, but it was horrible conditions, so it wasn't very enjoyable. So. Yeah.
Well, March, April, it should be coming up, right? I would think.
Yeah, it's like supposed to be 65, 70 today. So, and the sun's shining, so that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Yes. So I guess through all of this, like what's the best part of travel nursing? What's the worst part?
The best part is definitely the people you meet. I've met awesome people from all over. I definitely met people I can tell you will be lifelong friends. And it's kind of like being on a permanent vacation. You know, I do have to work 3 days a week, but I'm somewhere new, to explore. So my 4 days off at home, it would be like, all right, we'll do laundry, we'll do this, kind of hang out, not really do anything. Where now I'm like, I'm somewhere new that I don't have to hop on a plane to go experience. I can just drive, or I'm right there. So that's definitely the best part. I'd say the worst part is always obviously the unknown. You never really know what's next. Although right now I kind of know what's going on until mid-June, which is kind of nice. First time I've ever really been able to plan much ahead. The other thing, honestly, the packing and unpacking every 3 months. It's kind of, that part's kind of getting old, but it's a day. So,
How did you, so you're on a farm in the middle of nowhere, you said. How'd you find that housing?
Actually, housing around here is pretty much non-existent. So we got the contract, and I was looking around Airbnb. There's a few, and when I finally reached out to them, they're like, "Oh no, it's booked off another site. They just hadn't updated their sites." So we hadn't had housing. So I reached out to Aaron. I was like, "If there's not a contact at the hospital that has anything, like, we're not going to be able to take this assignment." And I actually ended up an ICU nurse that has the hospital has a little mother-in-law suite on the back of her house. So got my own little apartment on the back of the house in the middle of nowhere on a farm.
Very nice. That's cool. So I always wonder about that too, because that is by far probably one of the hardest pieces of all of this.
Yeah, I've never really had trouble until this assignment. Airbnb and HomeAway have been great so far, and then I have the problem of extending at assignments. So I network and meet people, and I've always found like my second go around the extension, I've been able to networked and found places that way.
Gotcha. I wouldn't say extending is a problem at all. I think.
Well, it's a problem when you got into it to go places, and I'm like, I'm on assignment 5 technically, but only location 3.
Yeah.
But like Vermont, I got up there, I was like, oh, I'll ski all winter, and then I'm like, well, I want to hike, and then I went to Reno and I hiked, and I was like, they asked me to stay, and I'm like, ski in Tahoe all winter? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's another thing Erin said when I talked to her is you love the outdoors. It's skiing and like wineries, breweries, places like that. You're in the absolute right profession for that, right? Is especially traveling to do that kind of stuff too.
Absolutely. Like I actually have a hike planned on Tuesday with friends I met in Reno. Actually, just took an assignment the next town over. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I met up with them last night, and we're gonna go hiking on Tuesday.
Excellent. That's really cool. And then Erin said that the national parks, like she got you a national park pass. It was that is super. I love those. We go to Colorado all the time, and Rocky Mountain National Park is by far one of my favorites.
It's on my to-do list. Haven't quite made it there yet, but
you should. It is, and I need to get out more because I know there's way more that I need to see that I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, plan on using it while I'm out here, and then on the way back home, my plan right now is to drive back home at the end of this assignment. I'm going to hit some places up on the way home. So
yeah, that sounds great. Yeah. So do you get out? I always ask about food because I like to eat, and you get to experience some pretty awesome food out there. Have you found anything, especially there in Washington, that like stands out for you?
Everything here actually in the valley here is a lot of Mexican food. So I've had a little bit, again, living in the middle of nowhere, I can't really go out too much and go like drinking because I got to drive everywhere.
Yeah.
But a couple girls from work, families own some restaurants, so they'll bring food into work and everything like that. But my kind of goal when I'm out traveling is I try not to go to chains. I try to do little mom and pop things in towns and things in that nature to attempt to try different things. So like I said, last night we went to a little brewery down in Richland, Washington, which was okay. I've had better beer, but don't know if you don't try.
I would love to. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd try it. Why not? Right? If you're there, give it a shot.
Exactly.
Yeah. So last question, and I asked this one to everyone, and I love this question too because I don't know if I really know how I would answer it. in my career necessarily, but in your career, nursing career, traveling, everything else, like what is taking you the longest to learn?
I think kind of, as you know, Aaron said, I'm a planner, I'm organized, kind of also just let things go. To realize that, you know, I was fortunate to come from a very strong training program, very strong ER. So I wouldn't say I was set in my ways, but I kind of knew how things went. I was there for 12 years. But to kind of let things go when you go to other places and realize you don't have the same equipment, you don't have the same, people don't have the same mentality, kind of, you know, things they spaz about or things we never spazzed about, or kind of just trying to let all what I know go, be the nurse that I know I am, but just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard, and sometimes you're just like, all right, whatever. You can only do what you can do.
You just got to go with it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Melissa, thank you so much for being Melissa Ouellette.
Very good. Yep.
Yay. Thank you so much for being with us today. I really do appreciate it. And I'm going to record my piece with Aaron here in just a second. So.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you again, and we'll see you on the road.
All right, thanks. Bye.